The Toronto Raptors were another victim of the lottery gods not going in your favor. They ended up dropping in the 2025 lottery. This team could have been on a completely different direction if they landed a Cooper Flag or a Dylan Harper in this year's draft. And I also just wonder, what is their direction right now? Because I made a video a couple weeks ago just kind of saying what is the Raptors' end goal with this team. Now, we were robbed of seeing kind of a smaller sample size of Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes together. I'm really intrigued to see how it's going to work. Is it just going to be basically Zion and Brandon Ingram 2.0, or can they maximize each other in Toronto? Is Jakob Poeltl going to be here when the Raptors are hoping to win a playoff series one day or two? Is Quickly and RJ Barrett going to be here as well? I just think there's a lot of question marks with this Raptors team going forward, and we're going to figure it out. I like the head coach in Darko Rajakovic, and I think there's going to be a lot of talent that they could take at number 9. I mean, Derek Queen or Kaman Maliwatch definitely make a lot of sense. This team does not have a lot of center depth, and you're looking to develop somebody behind Jakob Poeltl that can eventually replace him. Colin Murray-Boyles on this team defensively would be electric. I like the idea of Carter Bryant at pick number 9. I think with the Raptors development track, he could be in a really good position. Can Knipple fall, or is it a little redundant when you already have Grady Dick? And a lot of people are saying that the Raptors could make a big move this offseason. I don't really know if I see that happening. Now, could they be a dark horse Giannis team? There is a chance that could happen, yes. But I just wonder if they would get better opportunities out there, at least more so the Bucks talking. Obviously, if you can get Giannis, you get Giannis. So Cooper Flag ends up going number 1. Can we get Dylan Harper to go number 2? Wow, I think this is the first time I've seen Cooper Flag 1 to Dallas, Dylan Harper 2 to San Antonio, with no Ace Bailey going up there or no trades. Noah Essengate ends up going 4, not VJ Edgecombe. The Jazz are picking here. They take VJ Edgecombe. 6 is going to be Knipple. 7 is Trey Johnson. Okay, so I think a lot of the realistic guys are off the board. So I could look at the Derek Queen or Kaman Maliwatch route, as both are still on the board. I did take Kaman in my Nets rebuild, and I still think it makes a lot of sense to take him here. I don't know, doubling up is something I don't have to do. Kasperi Shakuchonis would have been interesting here if we think that, or if we thought that maybe Emmanuel Quickly wasn't going to be here long term. I don't know about Jace Richardson, wherever he is, to be like a 2 guard for us, just given his height. So Carter Bryant still intrigues me a bunch. I just don't know if we could develop him a ton. Man, do I trade down is a question. Like, do I see Chicago, a team that also wants to add a center? Do they want to move up with me? I don't know what else I can get because I'm not getting Kobe White. I mean, Jalen Smith, we're not going to really have a lot of cap space here. So what about this future first round pick from the Portland Trailblazers to move down 3 spots? They're going to say no. I don't really have a lot of seconds to give you. I'll give you 1 in 2027. All right, what about instead of the 2026 first, I get your 2029 first? Damn, they really don't want to move. What about do I have a throw-in player? Jamison Battle. Can we do this? Nope. And can I throw in a second rounder? Please? Bang, there we go. Okay, so I'm hoping Carter Bryant maybe falls to us at 12. There goes Derek Queen. Rockets are going to take Jeremiah Fears, and let's see what they end up doing. Okay, so funny enough, Kaman Maliwatch is on the board. So I'm not going to get, yeah, I'm just going to take Kaman. I do think that Masai would want to develop Kaman behind Jakob Poeltl, and I got additional first-round pick for doing so. Chicago ended up moving up for Derek Queen instead. All right, so rookie signings. Yeah, we're going to sign Kaman, who's going to be a backup. We can definitely just think about a Jakob Poeltl trade at one point. I do wonder if I should trade RJ Barrett right now, because do we have a spot for him in the long term, or do we try to get Grady Dick into the starting rotation? Because you got Jacoby Walter in the wings. He's going to be a free agent in 2 years, and he's coming off a productive 1.5 years in Toronto when he's been healthy. All right, I wonder if I can get Bogdan Bogdanovic 2 first-round picks and Chaz Lanier from the LA Clippers for RJ Barrett. They would want Ochai Agbaji, which I am not in the market to give up. All right, I thought the Clippers would have been a good idea for RJ Barrett, just because I can easily do it with the bogey trade and they need to add offense. But their also draft pick situation isn't great right now. I think there could have been like an RJ Barrett for Mark Williams type trade, or at least like the baseline of a deal. But since I drafted Kaman, I don't really know. I mean, I could do this trade and then reroute Jakob Poeltl somewhere else. So could I do RJ Barrett for Mark Williams and maybe this lower tier swap in 2026? They're going to say no. Do I have anybody that I would just throw in? I would throw in AJ Lawson. Does that help the deal get done? And I will throw in a 2029 second rounder and a 2020. I don't want to throw in a first rounder and a 2027 second rounder. Okay. Should I just do RJ Barrett for Mark Williams straight up? I mean, could I accumulate some second round draft capital? Could I get 2 seconds for RJ? All right. What about just 1? All right, would they even do this straight up? They will not. Okay, so maybe we're not going to do Mark Williams for RJ Barrett. Or what about if I throw in AJ Lawson and RJ Barrett for Mark Williams? I feel like this is the trade that makes sense for both parties. All right, so I trade away RJ Barrett. Now I wish I drafted maybe somebody different than Kaman, but we're now going to pivot and trade Jakob Poeltl this offseason. And I probably could have expanded that Hornets deal, and I could have given them Herb Jones is interesting. I could have probably gave them Jakob Poeltl and got something back. I don't know if they'd want to give me Herb Jones. I would actually love Herb Jones. Does that make sense? So they would acquire 500K more than allowed. I'll take back somebody you don't really care for, like Antonio Reeves. What about this? Multiple first round picks. I don't want to do that. And as much as I love Herb Jones, it's just like he's really hard to get the most use out of him in this game. All right, I have no idea if I can get maybe some draft capital here from the Hawks. I don't think I'm going to get 3 players unless I throw in somebody else in this deal, which I don't really want to throw in any of these guys. Kobe Buffkin, Vic Krejci, George Nang, and 2 lower tier first round picks. I assume they're going to just decline it. What about 1 first round pick? All right, so I could take back Terrence Mann's contract. It's not a great one, but it could be put in a trade. So if we did Terrence Mann and let's say these 2 swaps for Jakob Poeltl, would they do that? They would want a decent amount more draft capital. All right, what about if we do the Milwaukee swap with New Orleans in 27? They say no, and I will throw in 1 second rounder. All right, so they're willing to give me their 2028 unprotected first round picks, so we are going to do that. It gives them, I guess, better center depth going forward. So we have a younger center duo now. Mark Williams and Kaman Watch. We have Barnes and Mobo. We have Ingram and Agbaji for now. Man, probably not going to crack the rotation. I don't know who I'm going to start between Grady Dick and Jacoby Walter, and then we'll have Quickly and Shed. So I'm not going to use my mid-level exception this offseason. That's something we can hold off until next year. I don't mind bringing back Chris Boucher, the last Raptor from the 2019 championship team. Going to renounce the rights on some other guys. We created $6 million in trade exceptions. I also wouldn't mind bringing back Ulrich Chomsky, who is a complete project, who was drafted out of the Africa Academy back in the 24 draft. And yeah, what is he asking for in free agency? I mean, that is kind of way too much. I will give you a 3-year deal. I mean, I guess you'll accept that. So we'll just do that with Ulrich, and he's going to get kind of a nice payday for somebody that may never crack the rotation. All right, so Scotty Barnes is an 87. I'm going to probably change his position around, but I actually don't mind this team trading away RJ Barrett. I think the ball can flow a little bit better, and I don't know if you can really optimize like a Scotty, an Ingram, and an RJ Barrett trio. I think by you trading for Brandon Ingram, it pretty much eliminated RJ Barrett's future, especially because you extended Brandon Ingram as well. And do we have any contract extensions to do before the season starts? Ingram, technically. No. Grady Dick. Honestly, I may actually sign Grady Dick. I mean, it's a year too early, but if we can get him on like 45 million, yeah, I'm going to do that. I think that's going to beat the market value for him. All right, so let's construct this roster, which is going to look a little bit different. It's going to be Quickly, Dick, Ingram, Barnes, Mark Williams. I don't think Boucher is going to get any minutes. We're probably going to go like 32 a night to Mark Williams. I'm going to play him a decent amount. And I think Kaman is probably going to get around 16 minutes a night to start off his career. I would like Ochai Agbaji to get a decent amount of minutes. I don't think I'm even going to play Terrence Mann out of the gate because there's a lot of guys that deserve minutes. I'm going to go about 15 to Shed and Mobo. Let's go about 19 to Agbaji, 16 to Kaman. We'll do 22 to Jacoby Walter. So yeah, neither Mann, Aaron Holiday, who we had assigned Boucher, or Ulrich is going to get minutes. So we can go about 32 to Quickly. I would like to go about 34 to Barnes. Honestly, we may go like 30 to Mark Williams. 26 to Grady Dick is fine. Maybe we'll go 33. We can go maybe 20, 18 there. And then let's go 34 to Ingram and Barnes. That's good with me. I'd rather see what we can fully get out of them this year. 3.5 stars under Darko Rajakovic. We do own our draft picks going forward. So if the worst case scenario does happen, we'll be okay. I just got offered Brandon Ingram for Devin Booker. I'd love to make that trade, but that would never happen. All right, so here we are at the trade deadline and a wide open Eastern Conference. We are the 3 seed. We have a 3.1 point differential. It does seem like the Atlanta Hawks, who have Jakob Poeltl, unless they traded Jakob Poeltl. Okay, I could have traded Jakob Poeltl to the Pacers. I assume that's what they did. They traded Jakob Poeltl for Obi Toppin. The Cavs are the 1 seed, but hey, the Raptors are back to becoming a playoff team, or should be one. Brandon Ingram, hello, 51% from the field, 44 from 3, 87% from the free throw line, arguably having the best year of his career. I don't think he would have those numbers if RJ Barrett was still here, just because the paint would be clogged a little bit more. The touches wouldn't be as fluent. Emmanuel Quickly, 15 points, 5 assists. Nice to see him putting up numbers. Mark Williams, who's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, putting up good numbers. Jacoby Walter, taking strides as well. Ooh, Grady Dick struggling. Maybe it's because I gave him the extension and now he's okay. All right, that's unfortunate. 36% from 3 for Agbaji. Kaman kind of going through the ebbs and flows with him. Shed struggling from the field. Mobo's a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to make any trades at the deadline. I just want Kaman Watch to not take a lot of threes, which, yeah, his shot 3 tendency does not need to be at a 50. And just kind of seeing now if I want to make any moves at the deadline, but I don't think so. Like, we do have some free agents. Agbaji will be a free agent. Mark Williams will be a free agent. Both of those guys were picked back to back in the 24 draft. I think I'm just going to let this season play out. All right, so Jokic wins his 4th MVP award of his career. Cooper Flag takes home Rookie of the Year for the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Simons is your 6th Man of the Year. Wemby's your Depoy. Connect Most Improved. Maxi Clutch Player of the Year. And Andrew Sampson is your Coach of the Year, which is, I guess, David Adelman. I don't know why I was going to say something different. So we don't get any Raptors on the first 2 teams. Does Brandon Ingram? No, he does not make an All-NBA team. I thought he was on that direction, honestly, the way he was playing this year. Come On Now You Watch is on All-Rookie second team. We finished the year as the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're going to be going up against the 7th-seeded Detroit Pistons in round number 1. They added Al Horford in the offseason. That was their big offseason acquisition. Brandon Ingram, though, had a really good year in about 20 or 32 minutes per game. His per 36 would look very good. Shot 43% from 3. Jamal Shed struggled 35% from the field. Mobo struggled as well. So the 2024 second rounders not doing well this season. So, I mean, one of them may not play for the playoffs. I think I kind of need a backup guard. So, yeah, Shed's going to get like 10 minutes a night. Kaman's going to get about 14. I'm going to go 34 to Mark Williams, 20 to Agbaji and Jacoby Walter. Let's go 37 to Ingram, 38 to Barnes. Grady Dick shot better in the second half. So let's go 30 to Grady Dick, and we can go 37 to Emmanuel quickly. Let's see if we can beat the Pistons here in round number 1. They win game 1 by 5, 106-101. Cade with 31, quickly with 28. Game 2 is going to go to the Detroit Pistons, 130-116. Ingram, 42 points. Damn, this is a really good Brandon Ingram season. Game 3, all right, we are going to get swept as a 2 seed. Are you kidding me? 64 combined between Barnes and Ingram in the loss, and we end up winning game 5, 131-127. I don't know why I'm going to check now, but I want to see how RJ Barrett did in Charlotte. Game number 5, we lost in 5. Damn, we got gentlemen swept. Brandon Ingram averaged 33 points. Get Brandon Ingram some help. Damn, Scotty Barnes, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 40, 32, 88 splits. Now, I wonder if this team would be like, all right, we'll trade Scotty Barnes for Giannis Antetokounmpo because Brandon Ingram is that dude. Now, how did the Charlotte Hornets do this year? They went 26 and 56. RJ, 35% from 3, 52% from the field. I don't mind RJ, honestly, in between. You would need for him to play a little bit better defense, though. All right, so Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Haliburton are your conference finals MVPs. Both teams were in the 2025 conference finals, and the Timberwolves win in 6, with Anthony Edwards winning finals MVP. LeBron and Chris Paul end up retiring. I can't override LeBron's or Chris Paul's or Russell Westbrook. So end of an era. I saw Draymond Green ended up retiring on the New York Knicks. He's going to get his jersey retired by the Golden State Warriors, obviously. So here we are in the draft lottery. We don't own any first round picks. I mean, now we do own the Hawks and the Bulls future first rounders, but we won't own anything here. The Raptors are going to be picking at number 24 here in the 2026 draft. That Pacers pick ended up being number 23 that was sent to the Pelicans. So like this version of Brandon Ingram, you gave up Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk in the 24th overall pick in the 26th draft or 23. That is a steal of a deal. All right, so we are here the night of the draft. We are going to get a little bit more expensive going forward, and we're paying Terrence Mann $15 million to not play for us. I do want to see if I can maybe get off of this contract right now. So the Phoenix Suns need some depth. I'm going to send them to Phoenix for the 59th overall pick in this year's draft. I don't think I'm going to make any major draft night trades. The Blazers, who have a good future, add AJ DeBanza, Cameron Boozer to the Thunder, and the Lakers at number 3 are trading the pick for RJ Barrett. So you're telling me I could have just traded RJ Barrett for Darren Peterson a year later? Charlotte takes Chris Sinak to basically replace Mark Williams. I mean, that's an exciting team. I don't know why I would do that if I were the Lakers, but now they also have the 6th pick and they take Isaiah Harwell. And our first round pick, this is Yaxel Lendenberg, who's actually going back to Michigan. He could have been a first rounder in this year's draft for sure. You have PJ Haggerty. I don't mind that idea. He's going back to school as well. Bennett Sturts is here. Dash Daniels, JT Toppin, Darian Williams. Honestly, I'm going to take, do I want to take PJ Haggerty? I could take LeBaron Philon, who is going back to school as well. All right, yeah, I'm going to take PJ Haggerty with this pick here in the first round. And then I'm going to get Yaxel Lendenberg with one of my second rounders, and I should have another one from that Terrence Mann trade. And I was able to get Alex Condon from Florida, so I guess his draft stock in this game dropped for the 26th draft. But yeah, Condon, Lendenberg, and PJ Haggerty, some names I'm going to have to fix in this profile. So maybe more trade assets as well. The qualifying offers are pretty expensive for Mark Williams and Agbaji since they were close to being lottery picks. Well, Condon is apparently a bad word, so I guess it's too close to condom. I don't know. All right, so we're here at Moratorium where I should get my mid-level exception. So I'm debating on who I want to use it on because I should use it. But I also wonder if I'm going to clear up some of the depth this offseason as well. So we are going to have to pay Mark Williams a decent amount of money. but I'm going to hope to be able to front load it. Davion Mitchell would be funny to bring him back to Toronto, but you know what? He's a good player. I mean, Ty Jerome, I could fully go after him. Yeah, because Ty Jerome will be such a massive upgrade over Jamal Shed. Can I give him like $14+ million? And not have to renounce the rights on anybody important? It looks like it. So Ty Jerome, yeah, is going to be the backup to Emmanuel quickly. I think Shed's like not great shooting numbers last year, is going to knock him out of the rotation. I'm going to give Agbaji a 3-year deal, and I'm going to try to front load it on Mark Williams, which is common for these rookie extensions. Just look at the Denny of Dia deal. So that is more than Mark Williams. Probably, I don't know how much he's going to get in real life. I doubt he gets extended by the Hornets this offseason. They're probably going to trade him, right? So here we are at player progression. Brandon Ingram is an 86. Scotty's an 86. Mark Williams an 85. I just feel like this team, I don't know if we're going to consolidate any depth going forward. All right, so looking to see if I want to do any contract extensions before the season starts. I mean, Ingram could opt out of his $40 million contract next offseason. Honestly, that could give us some flexibility before I have to re-sign him again. So I would actually be fine if you wanted to do that. So it's going to be quickly Grady Dick, Ingram, Scotty, Mark Williams, and again. Ty Jerome's going to get probably like 18 minutes off the bench. We're going to go 22 to Walter. I don't think Jamal Shed is going to play this year, so he could be traded at the deadline. Let's go 18 to Kaman. So I'm going to go about 30 to Mark Williams. They're going to split the minutes. Honestly, like Jonathan Mogbo, I don't even know if I'm going to put him in the rotation. Let's go about 14 to Agbaji. I mean, I could give minutes to Condon or Lendenberg this year. Let's see what Mogbo can do. I'm going to go like 10 minutes to him. So 23 more minutes. Let's go 30 to Quickly, 28 to Dick. I would like to go 35 to Ingram and 35 to Barnes. If I make Barnes, let's see, a small forward, it's his highest overall. So I'm going to change his position to that. Honestly, his backup position is going to be a point guard. So I guess I didn't really need Ty Jerome. I could have just made Scotty the backup point guard, which would have been interesting. We start the season against Philly and the Clippers, so we end up beating both of James Harden's former teams. Ingram is picking up where he left off. Could we see a Jacoby Walter breakout year? That'd be sick. All right, so we're here at the deadline, and we are 20 games above 500. We are 34-14. We're a lot better this year. We have an 8.9 point differential. The Pacers have the best point differential. They have Jakob Poeltl. So let's take a look here at the the player stats. Brandon Ingram has been our leading scorer. 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Scotty, 7.5 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 2.7 stocks. I don't know. Quickly has been fine, has been serviceable. I just feel like his role is better suited as like a backup point guard, like a sixth man basically, but he's getting paid way too much money to be a sixth man. I think I gotta find more minutes for Jacoby Walter. I think he's going to start over Grady Dick, who's been good, but I think we got to get Walter to the starting lineup. Mark Williams has been good, but if we think Kaman is ready next year, I could trade Mark Williams eventually. Jerome's been a fine enough backup point guard. Wish he was a little bit more efficient inside the three-point arc. Agbaji's been good. Mogbo's been just fine. So yeah, like I said, I do want to get Walter into the rotation. So I think I'm going to do something like this. Maybe a little bit less to Quickly. Get Walter 28 minutes a night. And I'm going to do this trade with the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to give them Jamal Shed and Jonathan Mogbo, some good defensive guys that are both restricted free agents at the end of the year. I'm also getting Colin Murray-Boyles. That's the main guy coming back here. Maybe a better defender than those guys, and is going to be the 9th man in the rotation or the 10th man. I'm getting Boston swap best with San Antonio in 2028. And I do have to give them my lottery protected first round pick this year. So hey, if we don't make the playoffs somehow, I will be able to get my pick back. So Colin Murray-Boyles is going to play, I think, a decent amount of minutes. I may end up going a little bit less, maybe one less to Grady Dick, maybe one less to Kaman, maybe go 16 to Kaman, 14 to Baji's fine. I think 13 to Murray-Boyles is fine right now. Maybe Scotty gets 33, Mark Williams gets 28, and we can actually end up going 17 to Murray-Boyles. Just because if Shed and Mogbo got like noticeable deals, I probably wasn't going to match them. All right, so Wemby ends up winning MVP. Rookie of the Year is AJ DeBanza of the Portland Trailblazers. Cam Whitmore, shout out to him breaking out. He's your 6th man of the year in Houston. Wemby Depoy, Concanipo most improved. Luka Doncic, clutch player of the year, and Pop is still kicking around here. It's not Mitch Johnson yet. We get no Raptors on the first 2 teams, and we get no Raptors on All-NBA 3rd team. Nobody on All-Defensive team. Jaren Jackson Jr. is over there in Phoenix. Was Devin Booker traded to Memphis? No way. Devin Booker was not traded to Memphis. What happened there? Because I know Jaren Jackson Jr. actually, did he sign a 1-year deal with them, or did he get traded this year? So Lauri Markkanen was traded for Desmond Bane. I don't see anything involving Jaren Jackson Jr., so that is kind of insane. Maybe he just signed a 1-year deal. We ended up as the 2 seed yet again. I feel like the Raptors in 2K right now are a really good regular season team, but we have not been a good playoff team. I do think this is probably our best lineup, or our best team so far. I mean, we're only 2 years into this, but I'm excited to see what this team can do in the playoffs. We had a very good point differential this year, and I think we are suited to be good right now, to maybe make a run, and to be good years following. So who is not going to play in the playoffs? So Baji was too efficient not to play. Kaman, I mean, do I trust Colin Murray Boyles? I don't really know. I mean, we could go the 10-man rotation route. So let's say I go like 14 to Ty Jerome. I worry about his defense in the playoffs. 14 to Murray Boyles. 16 to Kaman is fine. And we go 17 to Agbaji. 23 to Dick. Maybe 35, 37, something like that. I mean, if the rotation is too deep, we can trim it down. We're taking on the Cavs in round number 1. There's a chance they beat me. We win game number 1, 132-120. Grady Dick with 23. Agbaji with 21. Game 2 goes to the Toronto Raptors, 130-119. Ingram with 31. Barnes with 21. Quickly with 17. Game 3 goes to the Toronto Raptors, 125-121. Ingram with 24. Quickly with 20. Mark with 19. Barnes with a double-double, and we are going to sweep them. Let's go. 119-115. That's what I'm talking about. We got outscored by 20 points in the fourth quarter, and we still ended up sweeping them. So that is very encouraging. We're taking on the Pacers here in round number 2, who were in the NBA Finals last year. I'm recording this before the Pacers officially beat the Knicks, but they're up 3-1 right now. So, hey, they could be trying to go to 3 straight finals right now. So, yeah, Jakob Poeltl is now maybe started over Miles Turner. Don't know if I agree with that. We end up winning game number 1. We give up, what? 52 points in the fourth quarter? Are you kidding me? And we still won? That is insane. Game 2 goes to the Toronto Raptors, 146-124. 61 combined between Emmanuel Quickley and Scotty Barnes. How about that? We do end up losing game 3 by 15. Ingram at 25. Game 4 goes to the Indiana Pacers. Damn, they beat us. Ooh. Okay, they blow us out. So it is a brand new series. We lose game 5, 103-95. Don't lose in 6, please. Don't lose in 6. Oh my God. We go up 2-0 and then we lose 4 in a row. 27-11 for Mark Williams. But hey, a series loss is a series loss. Brandon Ingram shot 39% from the field. Grady Dick shot 38%. I like the way that Jacoby Walter has been playing, but he sucked. He was terrible in round number 2. Was he good in round number 1? Yeah, he was pretty solid. All right, well, you know, at least we won a playoff series. We were the 2 seed yet again. Cooper Flag and Halliburton are your conference finals MVPs, and the NBA Finals going to go to the Dallas Mavericks in 5. Cooper Flag is your finals MVP. So Brook Lopez, James Harden end up retiring. Same with Paul George, Tobias Harris, Jonas Valanciunas, and CJ McCollum. Tibbs ends up retiring. Tomas retires as well. Very short tenured head coaching job for the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's see. Draft lottery. Don't think we have anything too crazy here. Unless I'm forgetting. But yeah, I think the Bulls pick isn't in this draft either. The Mikal Bridges trade ended up helping the Nets get the number 1 overall pick. The Rockets get number 2 via Phoenix. We do have to give the Spurs pick 26 from the Colin Murray Boyles trade, so we do not own a first round pick, which is fine because I didn't think I was going to play any rookies anyway. All right, so it is the night of the 2027 NBA draft, and I'm feeling aggressive. I'm feeling like we can try to upgrade this team. I'm thinking either a center trade or a point guard trade, and I want to see if I could trade for Trae Young. I would offer up Emmanuel Quickley to start. We've made a deal with the Hawks in the past. I'm probably gonna have to decide between Ty Jerome. I can give you back Ty Jerome. I could also give you Grady Dick because I would like to hold on to Jacoby Walter. Ochai Agbaji could also be included in this trade. Let's see if I did Emmanuel Quickley. I give you your first round pick back in 2028, which should have some value. I give you the swap best with Boston. And I honestly just think I need to throw in, I don't even know, PJ Haggerty, who didn't play for us last year. Quickley, Haggerty, and 2 firsts for Trae Young. Simple as that. We get it done. And I think us giving them one of their first round picks back helped get it done. So right now, our lineup is going to be Trae Young, Jacoby Walter with Grady Dick as the 6th man. I still think we're going to go at least one more year with the Barnes Ingram experiment, and then we're still going to have, I think, Mark Williams at the 5 for now. So we ended up getting Rob Newman there at pick 56. Tyron Stokes ended up becoming a Brooklyn Net. Ingram opts in, so I guess that's why it was kind of easy to absorb the Trae Young contract, which was massive. Walter, Maluach, Murray Boyles, Lendenberg, and Alex Condon are all coming back. Ulrich Chomsky, I will offer the qualifying offer to, sure. And then do we have any free agents? It is just Ulrich. So yeah, I don't think I really need to sign anybody. I have a deep enough team right now. Hopefully Trae Young can allow everybody to get better. Even though we don't have a 90 overall, like we have a good backup point guard. We have depth on the perimeter and in the interior. All right, so here at player progression, Trae Young progresses a little bit. He's under contract for 3 more years. And I'm going to load up a new extension for Brandon Ingram. It's going to be a 2-year deal worth $90 million. So he's going to get a nice payday from us. And I'm also going to give Jacoby Walter a 3-year extension as well, just before he hits like the open market eventually. If he has a down year, maybe it's similar to Grady Dick, and maybe that's a thing to avoid in this game, is you give these guys contract extensions, they don't end up working out, at least in the first year. But Grady Dick ended up just fine. It's going to be Trae Young, Jacoby Walter, Scotty Barnes at the 4, Ingram at the 3, Mark Williams at the 5. I like the bench. I mean, I love the bench, actually. It's going to be Conor Boyles, Ty Jerome, Grady Dick is going to be the 6th man. Kaman Maliwatch is going to get minutes, and so is Osho Agbaji. He's going to get about 15 minutes. I can still like consolidate some of this depth too going forward. I don't think Yaxel is going to get that many minutes. I'm going to go 28 to Walter. Let's go 34 to Ingram. 34 to Barnes. Let's go 32 to Scotty, 33 to Trey, 26 to Mark Williams. That's fine. System proficiency is 3.5 star, under Darko Rajakovic. So if we look at the salary cap breakdown, though, nobody's a big free agent at the end of the year. So we'll see how this team looks with Trae Young. All right, so the team is 34-17 at the deadline. Pretty similar record to where we were last year. I'm afraid we are just a regular season team, though. 34-17, but a 2.7 point differential, which puts us 4th here in the Eastern Conference. We're the number 2 defensive team in the East, but the offense is not the engine I'd like it to be. Trae Young is averaging 16 points. Down a ton. It's his first year here. I was just hoping he was going to get double-digit assists. Jacoby Walter, down with the field goal percentage, up with the 3-point percentage. Ingram's numbers are a little bit down. Scotty's, oh my God. Scotty turning into a bust in this rebuild? I don't know. All right, so do I want to make a move here? Come on. Oh, man. Come on, it's turning into the B word as well. I think I'm going to trust this team throughout the rest of the year. Everybody's under contract until next year, so if it has a disappointing ending, we're going to make some moves in the offseason. All right, so Wemby ends up winning MVP this year. Sean Adair from Cincinnati, okay, ends up winning Rookie of the Year. Looks like he didn't actually play in his rookie season. Luka, Clutch Player of the Year. The Spurs just won 72 games. That is insane. Yeah, they're obviously on a great track right now. And every rebuild, they're going to be really good. No Raptors. We have barely won any awards in this video, unfortunately. We ended up dropping to the 2 seed. I could have expected at least dropping 1 spot. I'm glad it wasn't more. We almost dropped more. I'm worried about our offense in the playoffs. It's just not where we want it to go. I don't know what's happened to Scotty Barnes, but maybe he needs a change of scenery. This is pretty sad what it's becoming. So we'll see how this playoff run goes. We're taking on Cleveland in round number 1. I'm debating on who not to play in the playoffs. Everybody I think deserves some minutes. I don't know how I feel about a 10-man rotation. So I actually don't think I'm going to play Ty Jerome because Scotty can be the backup point guard. So Trey's going to get 35. Ingram's going to get 36. We'll go 33 to Scotty, 30 to Mark, 30 to Walter, and the rest I'm going to go is Agbaji, who was 51-43 splits this year. So let's see what happens. We're taking on the Cavs here in round number 1. Garland, Mitchell, Hunter, Mobley, Allen, Okoro. Are we able to beat them and advance to round number 2? We are going to lose in 7. Okay, so we end up losing 143-129. Jacoby Walter had himself a solid series. He had 32 points in game 6, or excuse me, in game 7. So we were up 2-0, then we gave up 150. And then we went up 3-2. They won game 6 by 4, and then we lost game 7 by 14. All right, a 2 seed. That is our 3rd straight 2 seed, or were we the 1 seed last year? I think it was our 3rd straight 2 seed, and we ended up losing in round 1, 2 out of the 3. That's embarrassing, but I always feel like this happens with the Toronto Raptors. It's weird. Kevin Durant, Curry, Vooch, Jimmy Butler, a lot of notable names are retiring this season. And do we have any Raptors first round picks this year? The Hawks pick, oh wow, that Boston pick actually ended up being pick 10. Atlanta's pick ended up being pick 23 that we traded them, and we have pick 26. So do I keep Darko? I mean, I will offer Darko an extension, but I will also offer Nick Nurse. I wouldn't mind Ime Udoka as the head coach of this team. Doc Rivers, we could pass. JJ Redick, I will offer a head coaching job too. All right, so we actually get Udoka, Rajakovic, and Redick. I'm going to keep Darko. I want the continuity. And I'm going to make this trade with the Miami Heat. I'm trading Scotty Barnes for Bam Adebayo. I did not expect to trade Scotty Barnes before Brandon Ingram, but here we are. I'm getting Jay Will, who probably will get flipped. I'm also sending them Ty Jerome in a 2nd rounder. So Scotty Barnes is now going to the Miami Heat. It's just not working out here, and sometimes you have to do that. So we've acquired some Southeast Divisional guys along the way. Bam and Trae Young and Mark Williams. And I'm going to create the best defensive front court in the NBA. I'm going to be trading away Jalen Williams and Mark Williams. Both Williamses are going to be going to Los Angeles for Ivica Zubac and Jalen Smith. So the new front court is Bam Adebayo and Ivica Zubac. I'm making moves this offseason. So we ended up drafting Herman Morris here. Smaller point guard from BYU. The number 1 pick was Sean Mason. To the Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to pick up the team options on Newman, Murray Boyles, and Kaman Maliwatch. Qualifying offers will give all those guys the QO. And then I'm going to be trading away Jalen Smith, Rob Newman, and a 2nd rounder for Darius Akuff, who's yet to play in the NBA, and a future 1st round pick from Minnesota. Akuff probably won't crack the rotation. I just was going to play Kaman over Jalen Smith. All right, so player progression. Trae Young is up to an 89. Zubac is going to regress a little bit, but I mean, I know I said I'm worrying about the offense, but I think it's going to be I don't know. I just think 2K doesn't really like Scotty Barnes that much. He doesn't develop very well. So this could be a horrible disaster. I could set this franchise back, or we could win a title this year. And let's construct this rotation. It's going to be not Young Dick. We're going to do Jacoby Walter in the backcourt with Trae Young, Brandon Ingram, Bam Adebayo, and Ivica Zubac. So Kaman's going to get about 16 minutes off the bench. 18 to Murray Boyles, 18 to O'Shea. We could see what Yaxel could do. He can get 10 minutes throughout the regular season, probably won't play in the playoffs. Zubac's going to get 30. We're going to go 32 to Bam. Let's go 34 to Brandon Ingram. Well, I want to get at least 5 more, or at least 4 more minutes to Trae Young. So let's go 1 less to these guys, and then we can go about 34 to Trae Young. So let's see how this team performs here in the 2029 season. All right, so this Raptors team is breaking out 41-8 here at the trade deadline. We have a 16.0 point differential. The Spurs are the only team that's better than us, but the offense has improved this year. 3rd in the East in offense, number 1 by far in defense. It does feel like us and the Spurs will be on a collision course for the NBA title, but we got to get through the playoffs. Trae Young, 21 points and 11.5 assists. That's why we acquired him. He's playing a lot better this year. Brandon Ingram, hey, he's been really efficient. Jacoby Walter kind of breaking out. Just wish he was a little bit better at finishing around the rim. We're getting elite defense out of Bam and Zubac. That's why we have one of the best defenses in the NBA. Yaxel is struggling, but he's not going to play in the playoffs. Let's see if we can win a title here in 2029. All right, so Wemby wins MVP. I thought Trae Young was maybe going to have a chance this year. Do we take home Coach of the Year? Walter Clayton Jr., most improved. Got drafted by the Nets in the first round and spent last year with the Grizzlies. And no, the Spurs went 41-11. All right, hopefully somebody could take them out before the NBA Finals. Trae Young, All-NBA second team. I believe our first All-NBA appearance here in the video. Nobody on an all-defensive team, unfortunately. We do capture the number 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. 65-17, a damn good year. Yeah, the Spurs went 71-11. They're a really good team. I'm going to pretty much just not play Yaxel Lenenberg in the playoffs and redistribute the minutes. I mean, they got Dylan Harper, Castle, Jaime Jaquez. They no longer even have De'Aaron Fox, but they have a pretty good team outside of it. So, yeah, for the playoffs, we're going to go 0 minutes to Yaxel. I think Kaman is fine with about 15 a night. Let's do that. Let's go 33 to the front court. 34 to Ingram's fine. 30 to Walter. Let's go 38 to Trae Young. And let's hope for the best. We're taking on the New York Knicks in round number 1. Watch them beat us. I would be upset, but they have a solid enough team where they definitely could. We win the first 2. All right, we end up winning in 5. That's what I'm talking about. We're taking on the Miami Heat in round number 2. Trae and Ingram are off to a fantastic start. All right, so here we are, round number 2 against the Miami Heat. So this is a very cool series because it's Scotty Barnes, who is now averaging 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in the playoffs. I guess I was misusing him. They got Derek Queen at the 5. Tower Hero should be starting. And De'Aaron Fox is there as well. So they could have a Kentucky backcourt with Fox and Hero. So I guess interesting that it was a Jaime Jaquez for De'Aaron Fox trade that happened this year. And Ty Jerome was involved as well. All right, can we go to the conference finals? Bang, we gentlemen sweep them. And we are 8-2 so far in the playoffs. 23, or in this series, 22 for Trae and Ingram. Oh my God. Minnesota beat San Antonio for us. Okay. All right, let's get through Washington, and we avoid San Antonio. Alex Sarr and Jabari Smith is a dope front court, I can't lie. Brandon Miller and Bub Carrington in the backcourt's electric. We win game 1, lose game 2, win game 3, lose game 4. Don't lose game 5, please. Okay, we win. Please. Let's go. We're in the NBA Finals. We win by 3. I was a little bit nervous there. Jacoby Walter breaking out. He's got 30. Who are we taking on? It's going to be Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Ant versus Trae. Let's see in that conference finals. 24 for Brandon Ingram in that series. All right, so we're going up against Ant, Kevin Porter Jr., McDaniels, Randall, and former Raptor for like a day, Jalen Smith. I don't really love their bench. Let's see if we can win. We win game 1 by 11. Trae Young, 31-11. Game 2 goes to Toronto. Bang, there we go. We win by 16. Come on, let's go up 3-0. Let's go. We go up 3-0. We win by 16. And can we win the NBA Finals? We sweep them. How about that? The Toronto Raptors win the 2029 NBA Finals. Did not expect to get Trae Young today, but he ends up becoming your Finals MVP. Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter, pretty much an Osei Agbaji, the only 3, and I guess Ulrich Chomsky. We got 4 OG Raptors. Surprised one of them was not Scotty Barnes. So that's gonna be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy this Raptors rebuild. If you did, I'd appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Sorry if my camera was a little bit blurry towards the end of that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think the Raptors are gonna do with the 9th overall pick and what they should do this offseason. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.